Canadian politician Charlie Angus delivered a blistering rebuke of President Donald Trump on Wednesday, claiming that Mr. Trump's authoritarian regime means that the U.S. and Canada are no longer allies. Mr. Angus, who retired from Parliament in March, went so far as to suggest that Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney should consider uninviting Mr. Trump to the G7 summit in Canada next week.
And this is the man who will soon be crossing our border to attend the G7 meetings in Canada. I have received hundreds of messages of concern and outrage from Canadians that a convicted felon, sexual predator, and a man who has threatened our nation's sovereignty is being allowed into our country. I understand the Prime Minister Carney's reluctance to escalate the situation with the MAGA president. But we have to stop kidding ourselves, and we have to be very honest about what we are being asked to engage with. Canada can no longer view the United States as an ally. We know that Donald Trump doesn't believe in liberal democracy. He doesn't believe in the rule of law. Canada is an open and inclusive society. Little wonder that Donald Trump has denounced our nation as one of the nastiest countries he's ever had to deal with. And we'd be fools to pretend that his threat to, quote, get rid of the border by using economic force has somehow abated. We can't kid ourselves about the threat that's being posed by Donald Trump. Prime Minister Mark Carney is not inviting our nearest neighbor and friendly ally to join us in the G7. Prime Minister Carney is not inviting the leader of the free world to Canada. He is welcoming in Vladimir Putin's sock puppet, who will have the best seat in the key negotiations with the G6. Donald Trump will be there as we attempt to negotiate a deal in a dark new world. And we know that Donald Trump is there to undermine us at every step of the way. Canada must be focused on containing this clear and present danger to our nation and the rule of law.
Our correspondent Wyatt Sharpe joined us for more on Charlie Angus's take that President Trump should be uninvited to the G7.
Former NDP MP Charlie Angus from the Thunder Bay area has went on a little bit of a tangent about Donald Trump being invited to the upcoming G7 summit taking place in Kanaskus, Alberta. Angus talking about a number of different factors, including the trade war happening between Canada and the United States, but also the ICE protests that are taking place against immigrations and customs enforcement in Los Angeles, California, where Trump has deployed a number of Marines, even the National Guard, to try and address this situation. Angus is saying that the treatment of a number of these protesters who are there goes against some of the kind of ethical standards that police officers are set to uphold, especially in a city like Los Angeles. But it comes at a time when many other people are also boycotting various events that Donald Trump is attending. You saw just last night with the Kennedy Center, Donald Trump was asked about the fact that a number of different celebrities opted not to attend the event solely because he himself was going to be participating. That's one component of this. And then, of course, the other component is the trade war that is still ongoing. We have not yet reached really enough of a resolution, of course, between Canada and the United States. Donald Trump says that the art of the deal, as he puts it, is still in fact working to help bring back jobs in the United States and restore the American economy. But economists very much disagree, and a number of Canadian elected officials still trying to do everything possible to convince the President of the United States to try and back down with respect to these tariffs. And so there's a number of different components. But again, Charlie Angus emphasizing that we shouldn't be inviting somebody like Donald Trump to the G7, of course, taking place in Canada, when he doesn't show the level of respect towards us that Canada would show towards them. Certainly, there are a number of different things that are being said right now with respect to Donald Trump. And so people certainly making the connection that if we are kind of on the pathway to a deal, it would indeed be counterproductive. This kind of meeting here, of course, and the number of meetings that will take place over the course of the G7, likely to play a pivotal role in kind of advancing forward some of these talks.